get first prize. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, one quick item of housekeeping. You'll notice if you're watching or watching the stream or on SMU or MediaCom, we're in a little different format tonight. We're trying to spread out, trying to keep everybody safe, and so that's why you'll see people spread out all over the council room here tonight. So with that, item number 2, roll call.
Nelson. Here. Orison.
Here.
Larson.
Here.
Wunschel.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
Moriarty.
Here. Thank you. Item 3, consent agenda. A is a motion to approve the city council minutes of July 6, 2020. B, licenses, approve renewal of Class E liquor license, Class B wine permit, Class C beer permit, and Sunday sales for Walmart. Renewal of Class C beer permit with Sunday sales and ownership update for Dinos 31 and Dinos 32. And renewal of Class C liquor license with outdoor service and Sunday sales for 513. C is a resolution authorizing permanent transfer of funds of budgeted transfers for fiscal year ending June 30, 2020. D is a motion to approve purchase of a 2021 Mack 8,000-gallon aluminum tanker from Siouxland Trailer Sales for $89,795 and a Link pusher axle from Vanderhags for $9,160.09 installed for the landfill division. This is a CIP project. E is a motion to approve purchase of London Foggers Model 18-20 with GPS mosquito sprayer for $15,940. This is a CIP item also. F is a motion to approve sidewalk assessment agreements with Sharon Nebel at 916 3rd Avenue East, Roland and Donna Mortensen at 620 East 10th Street, and Donald Shorman at 831 East 4th Street. G is a motion setting a public hearing for August 3, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. on a rezoning proposal from Dennis J. Zelstra to change the zoning classification of his property at 1018 Grand Avenue from A residential to C1 general commercial zoning classification. H is a resolution adopting final assessment schedule for nuisance abatement and confirming and levying the assessments.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
First by Donovan.
I'll second.
Second by George. Questions, discussion on these items?
Good evening.
I've had people ask me how effective the fogging is. Do you have any numbers or any way to tell?
It's pretty hard to quantify the end results. The product that we use, the mosquitoes have to be in flight. So some years they're a little higher population naturally. We did not spray last week because we felt that the population was down currently on that. So I cannot give you an answer. I've never gone out and did a count or anything like that.
So that's what I told people as well. It's pretty hard to quantify.
Yeah. So
Mark, I can tell you, I live on the river, and it really helps down there. We can tell right away after you've gone by the next day.
good. We've been at it a long time. It's just part of our operations this time of the year. We routinely do that.
We're happy to see the fog coming down the street.
Very good.
So Mark, is this a new, I know, how old is the old system and the new one here? I see it's got GPS track, or,
Let's talk a little bit. Yeah, those
Yeah.
are great questions. So the current model we have was there when I started, so it's over 35 years old. The system we use is calibrated and it's very accurate, but you have to maintain the specific pressure and speed. The trick with the GPS is that it modulates the pressure, so you can vary your speed, and it still is just as accurate. It's kind of like the new ag sprayers that they work. So another positive part of this is you can spray up to twice as fast on ground speed what we can now. It's a higher pump capacity. So the GPS is not tracking, it's just tracking speed and adjusting to the speed. Okay?
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions, comments? Lauren?
Just have one other comment. I'd like to thank Brian for his thoroughness on his transfer of funds, especially for a first-timer like myself. I thought it was really, really well done, thorough, easy to understand, and kind of a hats off to all of those different departments for their achievements that they accomplished. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, in my opinion. Job well done to everybody involved in that, so.
Thank you, Lauren. Any other comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, vote by machine, please.
Nelson, I. Orison, I. Larson, I. Wunschel, I. Hanson, I. Reed, I. Moriarty, I.
Thank you. Item 4, old business. For the first time in a long time, that agenda item is blank. So we will jump to number 5, new business. 5A is a resolution approving contract and bond for 2020 Fourth Avenue Southwest Trail Project, TAP-U-7170628-8I-21, I believe, to Howry Construction Incorporated for $288,618.90. Bids were taken by the Iowa Department of Transportation.
I'll introduce that.
First by Bill,
Second that.
second by Ron, we'll go with. Discussion, questions on this?
Question, what time frame are we looking to get that project started? Or are we waiting until next spring?
Good evening, everyone.
I would say we're not supposed to have any contact with the contractor until the contract has been completely signed by everyone involved, including the DOT. I am working with Howry on another project in Palo Alto County, and they're talking about being over there in the middle of August. And I assume they'll do all these projects at the same time, so. Yep.
Thank you, Ross. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, vote by machine, please.
Nelson, I. Orison, I. Larson, I. Wunschel, I. Hanson, I. Reed, I. Moriarty, I.
Thank you. Item 5B is a motion to, on action to accept ownership of sewer as constructed as part of the Spencer Industries Foundation 2019 4th Street Spec Building Utility Extension Project as recommended by the project engineer. First by Tom, second by Lauren. Discussion, questions, clarification on this?
Question, do we have anybody go out there and inspect it? Do we have our own people? Or, did you guys do that one, Ross, or that project?
Yeah, we did do the inspection work on that, and we've checked everything, and.
Okay, so you represent us before we take acceptance of these, you go out and at least give us,
That's correct. We've issued a certificate of completion, made sure all the punch list items are done, and the
All right.
project was completed to the city's specifications.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Ross. Any other comments? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. Item 5C, before I read the resolution, I believe Don has some comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. While staff recommends the approval of this plat, which has been in process for a couple of years, your Public Works Director has reminded me of an issue that I think we should address and you should be aware of, and I'm suggesting that we add a paragraph to the resolution approving the plat. Lot 1, the large lot on the east side, along the southern boundary of that lot exists a private sanitary sewer. And that private sanitary sewer serves a number of the improvements with which you're probably all familiar in terms of the assisted living facilities and the actual St. Luke's main building. The city Public Works Department isn't in a position to accept that as a public sewer. We don't have enough knowledge and confidence in its size and its condition. But we want to make sure in the resolution that everybody understands that's going to remain a private sewer. And the fact that there isn't a public sewer available to the east of this property is the problem of the proprietor and not the problem of the city. Since that's all developed, I think they understand that they maintain their sewer to serve those facilities. But if you'd permit, we'd like to include that paragraph in the resolution. Mark, is there anything you'd like to add? No. Any questions about what we've said?
Does this go over to where that house was at that they had east of St. Luke's there along the highway? Or does it go that far? There was a house in there that they rented for a number of years.
If I understand your question, no.
Thank you.
So for clarification, because it's a private sewer line, it hooks into our system. We're just not in a position to accept that as a public sewer.
That's right. And if there weren't a private sewer, our policy would be to require the developer to continue a public sewer along the length of Lot 1.
Okay.
And so we're waiving that requirement because there is a private sewer, but we're leaving the burden on them to maintain it.
And the houses on the other side of the street, on the south side, if you would, of that street, those houses are part of the public sewer
Yeah,
system.
yeah, they're not related to this
It's
private
just this
sewer.
one lot.
Right.
Thank you.
That requirement, Don, to be clear to the public, that goes with the property, not the owner. So
That's
that-
right.
That remains a condition of the property, no matter who owns it.
That's right. This will be part of the recorded plat. Anybody who's interested could see that that's the case.
Thank you. So 5C is a resolution approving the final plat of St. Luke's First Edition, City of Spencer, Clay County, Iowa.
Okay, I'll make a motion to accept that with the classification that Don rewrites that up and puts it in the description.
Okay, we have a first by Ron,
No second.
second by Tracy. Any further discussion or questions?
What's their plan? What do we know? What they're talking about doing?
Well, as far as lots 2 and 3, I think they're just trying to develop lots to market. As to lot 1, I'm not sure that we know. It might be an expansion of their operations.
Okay, any other discussion or questions?
I guess my only question is, I know I've been seeing this plot for, like you said, the last 2 years. And I'm kind of shocked that this just now came up with it going back. So now does it need to go back to the planning and zoning board with the new resolution and then up to us? Or can it get approved with just changing that from there, or does it have to come back through?
It doesn't have to go back to planning and zoning. They've recommended, although it's so long ago, none of us remember, they've recommended the approval. So you can do it if you choose to.
Okay.
Any other comments or discussion, questions prior to the vote? Hearing none, vote by machine, please.
Nelson, I. Orson, I. Larson, I. Wunschel, I. Hanson, I. Reed, I. Moriarty, I.
Thank you. Item 5D is a motion to authorize application for Iowa Clean Air Attainment Program grant for Grand Avenue Corridor Signal Equipment Upgrades with application prepared by Bolton and Menk.
I'll introduce that motion.
First by Bill, second by Lauren. Questions, discussion on this? Mark, you want to maybe just quickly mention, or whoever, it's opportunity that is within a larger project?
In the next CIP fiscal year '22, we've identified the traffic light system to be upgraded on Grand Avenue. Through that process, we learned that there were several different options, and it soon became fairly complicated on which system we needed. So Bolton and Mink was hired at the time to provide some guidance on that. During that project, we were made aware of this grant opportunity that we did not know about. We're fortunate that the people working on the Bolton and Mink project, she was an engineer at Des Moines Traffic Control as well, so she's very knowledgeable in this, and explained that this air quality grant, which can be linked back to the timing of the lights, and can you improve traffic flow, you know, and in turn saving petroleum and reducing hydrocarbons, et cetera. So other communities have been successful with this type of grant. It does pay up to 80%. So we certainly thought it was worth trying, because this system is somewhere in the $200,000 range. So, any other?
Yeah, and Mark, we had gone through that study, I don't know, on numbers of lights and that configuration. Wasn't there supposed to be some studying on some of the locations of lights possibly? And I don't know where that went. I don't know if we ever got a report back on any of that.
Still in process, so they made a and it's not so much the change in like the location of the lights. You're right, we were in the middle of that.
Right.
It's more of the timing, and is it a system that's linked and that adapts the traffic flow all the time, continually during the day, or is it more of a time system?
Okay.
So if that answers it.
Yeah, that
so,
helps,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions or comments on this? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, engineers report. Ross?
Rognus Brothers worked on a few spot repairs on the liner last week. They also installed part of the leachate collection pipe, and last week had most of the P-rock hauled in for the drainage layer in the bottom of the cell. This week, they're working on placing that P-rock and doing some other cleanup items over there. The only other thing I had was a reminder of the bid letting for the 4th Street Southeast Sidewalk Project on July 31st. Unless there was any other questions. Thank you.
Got off easy tonight, Ross. Item 7, city managers report. Amanda?
Good evening, everyone. Just a few items. A reminder that Brian has been preparing our Budget 101 course, so we'll meet next Tuesday. I don't remember now, 28th. Sorry. To go through that with him, we'll have a light meal for all the council members, so it'll be a couple of hours worth. Secondly, we did send out a letter to everyone serving on a city board or commission. We are doing an onboarding or several onboarding sessions for those members. We've not done that in the past, and thought with all of the changes both at council and staff level and on the boards and commissions, it'd be helpful to have everyone come together and get a refresher on the roles and responsibilities of boards and commission members, as well as financial policies, open meeting laws, things like that. So we all start this new season of board and commission members on the same page. Those will be happening July 29th and 30th. You all were included in the email. If you'd like to attend any of the sessions, you're more than welcome, just to interact with board and commission members and hear the content. Content will be the same at every session. Lastly, I'd just like to wish good luck to Eric and Kristen Meter, who own Prest downtown. So they are competing through Main Street, Iowa for some grant dollars. They're in the finals. By making it to the finals, they've received $8,000. They're doing their final pitch tomorrow for an additional $20,000. And at 3 o'clock, they will announce the winners. They have remodeled a portion of their upstairs, and they're calling it the Loft, and it's for promotional, marketing, photography, sound recording. It's a space that's rentable out to the community. So it's a very neat project, and we wish them well and are glad to have them downtown. With that, I will answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Amanda. Item 8, Mayor's Report, just 3 items. Number 1, I'd like to thank and congratulate the citizens of Clay County and in Spencer. When you look at the COVID-19 numbers, we're between 2 counties that are significantly higher than us. And I think the citizens in our area have taken it seriously. They take precautions. They have good hygiene, wash their hands. The businesses have made modifications. And while we've all had this as a disruption in our lives, the numbers reflect, I think, the good behavior and the seriousness that people have approached this with. So thank you for that. Number 2, stay hydrated. It's hot out there, especially watch your elderly neighbors. If you don't see them for a while, or it's easy in the afternoon, if you're out too long, if you're not hydrated, to have some heat stroke symptoms. So please keep an eye on that. And wish good luck to the school staff, the families that are gearing up, the teachers that are gearing up. I know they're making modifications. I believe there'll be some information coming out either later this week or next week on exactly what that will look like, but certainly the start of this school year, much like the rest of 2020, except the first 60 days or so, is going to be different than we've had before. So our thoughts go out to everybody involved with that, and look forward to supporting their efforts. With that, I would entertain any questions. Okay, item 9, council committee reports.
As I mentioned, we have our committee of the whole meeting on July 28th at 5:30 PM for Budget 101. Our next regular city council meeting is August 3rd at 6:30 PM. And we will have a park, recreation, and culture committee meeting on August 17th at 5:30 PM. And Stockwell Engineer will present the master park plan draft for that committee for input.
Thank you, Amanda. Item 10, I would entertain a motion to approve the bills and claims. First by Lauren. Second by Tom. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, other opportunity to address the council. Would anybody like the floor? No? Quiet crowd. All right. Item 12, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. First by Tom. Second by Tracy. All those in favor? All those opposed? Meeting adjourned. Have a great evening.